up to the side rod, will you?
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the railroad. It's Matt from Matty C Trains. How's everybody doing out there? I got a little bit of a shorter video for you guys today. A lot's been going on to the layout behind me, a lot of scenery work, and I'm finally going to give you guys that layout update you guys have been asking for very, very soon. But today we're doing something much more close to home and a lot more local. Today we're checking out two very hard to find Long Island Railroad steam locomotives that I have been looking for forever, and we're finally going to check them out right now. Let's get going. So, as the title of this video suggests, these are engines that I genuinely thought I wouldn't be having in front of me today for several years. These are pretty gosh darn hard to come by, and these are locomotives that are very desirable here in New York, and definitely are engines that have not been reproduced. These are very old engines from MTH. These are MTH Premier engines. They're both Proto Sound 2. However, both of them have been released in Proto 3 before. This one, however, has not been available in this paint scheme in Proto 3 before, but we're going to check these out right now. So what engines are these, and what makes them so unique and so exciting? So these are obviously both Long Island Railroad locomotives. As you guys know, as a local, these are very much the creme de la creme, so to speak, when collecting, at least where I live, and the type of railroading that I model. As you guys know, I'm very big into metropolitan railroads that have to do around New York City, and obviously Long Island fits into that category. And Long Island Railroad has been very popular in the hobby the last couple of years. However, where the hobby has been lacking the last few years is the small to medium-sized steam locomotives, as well as just the much more accurate and detailed scale steam locomotives that have been available in 3-route over the years. Obviously, we've had the legacy Camelbacks that came out a little over a year and a half ago now. My club did a custom run that you guys seen here on the channel. That's a fantastic model. I love that engine to bits. And we've had a few other engines from Lionel over the years. We had the H10 from the coal hauler set with the swinging bell, although that is not as accurate. What we have behind me is the much more prototypical H10, and we're going to check that out here in just a minute. And obviously we've had Atlantic locomotives over the years, but they're not necessarily painted the way that they're supposed to. So what I have behind me today are two engines that definitely were staples here on Long Island. These are absolutely amazing engines, and I'm just super excited to have them. Let's take a little closer look. Now, real quick before I jump into the actual details and info about this engine, I want to tell you where I got it from, and you guys probably have a good idea where I'm getting at this. I got this from my good friends over at trains.com. That's Trains with a Z! Trains is always a place I go to find these harder to find engines, and they always tend to come to me in very great or excellent condition. I rarely have times where I buy something from Trains where the item does not work out of the box, and I always trust these guys. If you guys use my affiliate code in the description of this video, you'll get $10 off your next order on $50 or more. York is fast approaching. They will be there. You can name drop me. That's how you found the company if you're maybe new to Trains. But yeah, this is an engine I've been looking for a very long time, and I can always rely on Trains to find me something just like this. Such a strange and unique item to get. But with that being said, let's continue with the video. So real quick, here is the E6 Atlantic by MTH. This is a phenomenal tooling. This is an engine I really hope we get to see again in a couple more years, because this is an engine that I think is underrated from MTH if we're talking about their small steam locomotive offerings. This is a beautifully detailed model, and I'll zoom in just a minute here so you can see all the awesome detail. You can see here in these clips the amazing separate details that they added, all the piping and handrails, and the cow catcher is very awesome. And it's just really cool to see this particular engine painted in this all black look. It's just such a sleek overall appearance for these Pennsylvania Railroad prototypes. And that's something that was unique to the Long Island Railroad. A lot of the engines that the island had at the time were all leased by the Pennsylvania. None of them were actually owned by the island, although in this case, as you see here, a few of them actually were painted and lettered for Long Island, which is pretty unique. There were even a couple K4s that were painted like this too for a very short time, right before World War II. But this is very cool to see. This is an engine I really would like to see MTH bring back. But this was the engine that predated the famed G5 steam locomotives that Long Island made infamous with their railroad. And these engines were built for speed. These were only meant on passenger service, and these would be out towards the eastern side of the island. So they would leave Pennsylvania Station in New York City, and they would go all the way out to the eastern parts of the island, like Montauk or Babylon and other places that were easily accessed compared to the MU cars at the time. So this is just an awesome engine. It has some really cool station stops. It actually has Montauk as a station stop here on the PFAs, and I will play that later in this video. But fantastic engine overall. Super pumped to have this one. So next, really fast, here is the Proto 2 H10. Once again, this is an unbelievable engine, and this is actually the harder engine to find out of the two. This is an engine that has not been produced by MTH in several years. I want to say that it hasn't been made since I was a senior in high school. So 2014, 2015, I believe, was one of the last times the H10 was available. And it's a crime because I personally think this is one of the nicest small steam engines that MTH has produced. This is such a detailed engine. It's a really industrial looking model. They made two versions of this. So the version I have here is the 111. They made a different version that has a slightly larger tender with a doghouse on the rear. I got this actually from my buddy RJ of RJ's Trains. He actually has recently acquired the Proto 3 version of this, hence why I was able to get this for a great deal from him. So it's always great to have buddies in the hobby that look out and try to make sure you get the models that you're looking for. If not for RJ, I probably would not have this engine because this is just such a hard to come by engine. They didn't make a whole lot of these in the Long Island Railroad paint scheme. This was mostly, again, a Pennsylvania Railroad prototype. And obviously, once again, the all-black appearance of this engine is really impressive and very sharp. It just brings out all the awesome detail that they did to this. You can see some of the detail that gets shown here by the whistle and the top of the boiler, all this awesome cab detail and the pilot detail, some of the extra steps. Just a really awesome engine to watch going around the way out at slow speeds. This was a engine that the Island had for a long time, and this was probably their main workhorse when it came to freight operations on the railroad. If it wasn't the H10s, you probably would have seen K4s doing freight service as well. Sometimes you would also see B6 switchers in the rail yards, but this was probably the main workhorse for the Island for numerous years. And it's really cool to have this here and for you guys in this running session in just a minute to catch a glimpse of what the Long Island Railroad freight power was like back in the day. This is a fantastic engine, great sound set. So let's wrap up the video here and get this rolling. Okay, I think that's enough of me yapping on about these awesome engines behind me. It's just really exciting to have these two staple locomotives from the earlier days of Long Island Railroad steam. These are engines I've appreciated from afar for a very long time, and to finally say that they're in my collection and they're not going anywhere, it brings a smile to my face. And these are fantastic engines that I really hope MTH maybe considers bringing them back in the not so distant future. And we'll have to wait and see. This is just so cool to see these iconic Pennsylvania Railroad prototypes painted up in this simple, really sharp, all-black paint scheme. Really brings out all the cool details on these engines even further, and they just stand out. They're just so unique and exciting. But that being said, I think I'm going to wrap this video up and just send these around the layout for you guys to enjoy. I do want to take a quick minute to give you guys a quick little announcements. So I want to first off thank Sleepy Time Junction, who created my brand new channel logo that you're going to see at the end of this video as well. You probably see it in the thumbnail too before you clicked on this. I want to thank her. She did a phenomenal job. She does a lot of really awesome work So she'll do anything from channel banners to channel logos like you saw, and just rail art and artwork in general, if that's something that you guys are into. She also does full-fledged passenger car interior details, and I highly encourage you guys to check her out. She does a phenomenal job, and I can't say any more great things about her. I'll have a link in the description of this video for you guys to check out her social media. She's on Instagram, and she'll always be willing to work out with you idea that you might have and try to bring it to life. Also, I want to take a quick moment to say I will be at this year's Fall TCA York show. So I will be there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of the show. I hope to see all of you there. It's always a really fun time this time of year, and I never get tired getting all excited to go and check out all the awesome deals, and of course to meet all of you. So it's a great time for me to celebrate 1,000 subscribers that we just passed recently, and we're already almost at 2,000. And it's just going to be a really great time. I'm excited to see all of you. I will be there. It's going to be a great time, and I'm super pumped. But that being said, let's get these guys rolling, and let me just let you guys step back into the time machine to appreciate the glory days of Long Island Railroad steam. That being said, I'm Matty C. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.
I say thank you. Thank you.